Ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you back to my channel, Travel Africa with Otumba Yomiadu. And my name is Yomiadu. I'm the CEO of Aero Travels and Tours. Today, I am not really happy because of the conditions we face whenever we are traveling within the continent of Africa. So this day, I want to be itemizing 7 challenges that travelers face whenever they are traveling in Africa. If you know anyone who travels often, please, I want you to share this video with him or her because it will be of help and it will be a kind of, a guide. So also, if you know anybody in government, let them see the reason why there should be an improvement, in traveling, tourism here in Africa. So I don't want to waste much of our time because there are 7 things to talk about. Okay, before I go into it, I want you to subscribe to this channel if you are yet to subscribe to the channel. This is Travel Africa with Otumba Yomiadu. I do talk about travels, anything that has to do with movement within Africa. So, guys, let us dive into the topic we have for today. Let's dive into the video right now. Okay, number one, I'm going to talk about the poor conditions of most of our roads. Number one, poor condition or poor road conditions. You see, road conditions can be so dangerous, especially in rural areas, making travel by car or by bus challenging, especially if you are traveling in the night and the roads are not good. If you are a first timer on that road, you see, threats, life may be endangered in such situation. So poor road conditions can be very bad. It's a very big challenge. You understand? Okay. So let's move on to the second one. This one is a bit serious. I call it visa requirements. Visa requirements. Now, Africa is supposed to be borderless. What I mean is, we should be able, as long as you are an African, you should be able to cross from one African country to another without going through visa problems, visa, all these visa requirements. But what do we have today? Many African countries, they require visas for travelers from other African nations, which can be time consuming and costly to obtain. Imagine somebody wants to go maybe from Nigeria to South Africa. It will take days before the visa will be approved, and it will also be costly. So also, let's say a Nigerian is going to Kenya, Imagine. Okay, so all these, we are looking for a situation whereby it will be very easy for Africans to move from one country to the other. There are 54 countries in Africa. We are asking our government to make the place borderless. That is one. Point number 3. I will still talk about this border thing in point number 3. Slow border crossing. Slow border crossing. In fact, I have a very good example. When you want to cross from Nigeria to the Republic of Benin, in fact, the long queue that you will see at the border, I tell you, it is not good, it is not expected, and it wastes a lot of time before they will do all the checks. So all these, they are threats to traveling within Africa. So it's also a challenge here in Africa. Now, having done with number 3, let's move on to number 4. Okay, this one, I say travelers may be exposed to health risk such as yellow fever and malaria. Yellow fever and malaria. You see, traveling within Africa is not it's not so easy. Those of us who are into the business of traveling from one country to the other, I tell you, if not because we have strong immunity to diseases, look, it's not easy because when you get to a place, you drink their water, you get into a new atmosphere, you understand? Such may pose threats into one's life. You understand? So I think that is also a major factor that hinders people from traveling within Africa. Then the next point, that should be point number 5, that's what I call limited transportation options. Limited transportation options. You are moving from one country to the other in Africa. Most times it is usually by air or by road. But can we have a rail connect from Nigeria to South Africa? From Egypt to Nigeria? Can we have a rail connect? The African government supposed to come together. They should, all these African organization, what's it called? This African Unity or African Union that they have, the union of all the African leaders. I wonder what they talk about, in the meetings. I think there should be something that will make it easy for Africans to enjoy themselves. You understand? So we have limited transportation options. So that's why somebody is coming from Tunisia to Sierra Leone. Of course, it has to be by air. There should be something that should be able to connect us, let's say from Sierra Leone to South Africa on the water. And it should not be expensive. It should be very, very, affordable for all of us. So that's point number 5. Then point number 6 is what I call crimes, coup, terrorism, civil unrest, and so on. All these hinder travel a lot, travel within Africa. Terrorism, especially, it hinder travel in Africa. Civil unrest hinder travel in Africa. Coup, crimes, all these they hinder, traveling within the continent of Africa. And the last one, of course, but not the least, is what I call high travel costs, especially for flights and accommodation. Traveling in Africa, we have limited options, as I said in point number 5. So most times we travel by air. And you all know ticket fare, air ticket fare is usually high. So travel cost is expensive in Africa. That's just the truth. So also, when you get to your destination, you want to lodge in a beautiful apartment, in a beautiful accommodation. Anything beautiful in Africa is expensive. Anything beautiful in Africa is expensive. So how do you expect people to travel easily within the continent? So that is why I said that there are challenges. These are 7 challenges. There are more. But I have itemized 7 challenges that travelers face in Africa. So, ladies and gentlemen, I know you have your own comments, and I want you to share this video. Let this video go viral. It may get to people in authority, and they may somehow provide solution to the problems, to the challenges that we are facing. Not only that, they may also help us so that people who are traveling within Africa will always get it right, and it will make traveling very, very easy. I remember back then when I was in the college, some 30 something years ago, I even prefer traveling at night in Nigeria back then. But nobody will want to travel in the night in Nigeria today. No. Why? Because of things that may happen on the highway. You understand? I wouldn't want to mention some of the things, ugly things. So traveling in Nigeria in the night it has reduced drastically. You understand? So I think if people in authority can do what is right, traveling in Africa will be okay. And you see, if we can travel easily within Africa, it will boost tourism. There's a lot of money people are making in tourism. So if these challenges can be removed from all the 54 blocks in Africa, I tell you, tourism will improve in all the countries, and which means our continent will be a better place. So, ladies and gentlemen, I know you have your own contributions. I want you to suggest your contributions. Let's see what we need to do so that traveling can be easier here in Africa. Till I come your way again, guys, I remain ever sincerely yours, Yomiadu. Keep watching and keep supporting Travel Africa with Otumba Yomi Adu.